Welcome back. It's been a while. It's been like 2 weeks, but we're back on this episode of In Play. I'm Bryce Bautista, along with Max Reyes and Jacob Redondo. And my goodness, so much has happened in the MLB since we've last recorded. Do you guys want to start with like the trades, the non-tenders, the free agent signings? Like, where do we want to go with this?
I honestly kind of forgot.
I wrote them down.
I think the biggest one was Abreu, though. No,
that happened yesterday. Yeah, Jose Abreu to the Astros, 3 years, $56 million. That's a pretty big deal.
It's kind of a bummer because us as Padre fans wanted Abreu and we're not getting him.
Yeah,
but he did get the bag though in Houston.
And I don't know if I would have wanted to pay $20 million a year for Jose Abreu. So
not for a park like Petco Park, you know.
Exactly.
Like he'll hit 25 there for sure, but here I don't know.
He's going to be a stud for the Astros. That's just the Astros work. I mean, he might win MVP. That's how good the Astros are.
Now, that's how about that.
He might. All right.
You know it's going to be Ohtani again.
Unfortunately.
Ohtani could have like a 5 ERA and hit 5 home runs. And be like, oh, he's still pitching though.
Dark horse MVP candidate for the AL, Hunter Renfroe. Los Angeles Angels just got traded there. We can kind of translate into that now. What an offseason the Angels are having. What an offseason.
MVP.
No, I was just kidding on that. But just a good segue into talking about him. But yeah, my goodness, what an offseason the Angels are having so far. Hunter Renfroe, like, that's a huge move for them. I know they need pitching, but they still need hitting. Just need to score runs. Good guy to pair up with Trout in the outfield. I mean, that is Mike Trout 2.0. He looks exactly like him. And, I mean, as Padres fans, we know what Hunter Renfroe brings to the table. He's good for 30 bombs a year. I mean, he's a Gold Glove defender. Or he hasn't won a Gold Glove, but he is a Gold Glove defender. I love that move for the Angels. And speaking of the Angels, they've also traded for Gio Urshela. Another move in this crazy offseason for them.
I really like all the moves that the Angels have made. I mean, Tyler Anderson's probably the riskiest one. Just because, like, I could see him being like another CJ Wilson. But, like, Urshela, I've always thought is underrated, and I'm pretty sure he can hold it down at short. They really need offense more than anything, and Urshela is a pretty underrated hitter. He's like a Gold Glove defender at third. I mean, I'm sure he'll be all right at short. And then Renfroe is – I don't know what's wrong with Hunter Renfroe. This is his 5th team in 5 years, but, like – and maybe it's because he doesn't, like, listen to, like, the analytics or whatever, but at the end of the day, the guy hits, like, 25 home runs a year, bats, like, 260 every year. I mean, you kind of at some point you just got to let him like be, you know.
Yeah,
but he's bound to make an all-star team eventually.
You know what you're getting out of Hunter Renfroe, and he's a solid player, which it's
professional hitter.
It's surprising how this is what his 5th team in the past like couple of years.
5 years.
Padres, Mets, or not Mets. Padres, Rays, Red Sox, Brewers, Angels. 5th team.
Yep.
For a guy of his caliber, he shouldn't be moving around that much. But that's just me. So, you talked about Tyler Anderson. I like the deal for the Angels. It's a good guy to get out of the pen. You saw what he did with the Dodgers last year. Maybe he can replicate that, still staying in SoCal. That is the riskiest move, though, Tyler Anderson. I mean,
so are they going with 5 lefties in their rotation, or?
I think they get one more. Well, they have Ohtani still, but Ohtani, Anderson, Reed Detmers, Patrick Sandoval, and I think Jose Suarez rounds out the rotation. They could use one more to replace Suarez. Is not bad, but for a starter, I think you'd want one more. Probably move him to the pen, help out with the lefty there. Speaking of bullpen, they just signed Chris Davinsky, another really underrated move. I mean, he's from the area, went to Cal State Fullerton. Coming off of an injury year. I mean, he pitched, I think it was 13 games with the Phillies this year. Not bad. Wasn't great, but he was a beast in Houston. Maybe he can come back home and replicate that with the Angels.
You guys know I'm a big fan of Davinsky because I pitched with him in Musgrove. in a couple of off seasons, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But he's good. I want to say he had elbow issues before this year, so
Mm-hmm.
this would be his second year, just like the Clevenger situation. When he's on with that circle changeup, it's like one of the best pitches in baseball.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's showed that. I want to say he's one-time All-Star, but he was close to being a reserve the year after.
I think it was 18. He was an All-Star.
Yeah, and it's either the year the Astros won the World Series the first time or the year after. But yeah, he's really good.
Mm-hmm. Now you said Mike Clevenger. It's another guy that signed Chicago White Sox. How are we thinking about that?
Go ahead, Max.
Just kind of glad we didn't get him. $12 million a year, huge overpay in my opinion. But I really like the guy. I really liked how he embraced the city. But man, he showed flashes of being good like a little earlier in the year. But he was terrible down the stretch, like worse than Jared Weaver in a Padres.
Nah, I would not say that.
Dude,
he was not. He was not worse.
He could not get a single out in the playoffs.
Jared Weaver, I get that. But
5 pitches, 4 extra base hits.
Yep.
Jared Weaver was unbelievably horrible with the Padres. Now, it's not a knock on Jared Weaver. He's a great pitcher. Threw a no-hitter with the Angels, but
he's throwing like 75 miles an hour.
Dude, he had like a 75-mile-per-hour fastball with the Padres. Like, that wouldn't work in high school, let alone the MLB.
No.
It was rough seeing him and Eric Stoltz. Not the same year, but I remember Eric Stoltz as the Padres. Though, like, some of the worst pitchers I've seen. And Eric Stoltz didn't do that horrible. Just watching him, it was just like, bro, what is this? What is this?
Dude, we have come so far.
Dude,
I used to think Clayton Richard was like the best pitcher like in the league.
Dude, remember when Yolis Chassin was the opening day starter in 17?
Yep.
We all thought he was.
Cahill.
We all thought he was like best thing since sliced bread. Like
Tyson Ross.
I mean, he was kind of underrated, but still, when we brought him back in, was it 2018, 2019? And Chris Young, too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, they brought Chris Young back.
Chris Young and Tyson Ross.
I think they were trying to get him in the front office, but
they were. I remember that offseason, too. There was talks of bringing Jake Peavy back to San Diego.
Yep, saw that.
I was a huge advocate for that, but
and you got to remember they were in talks with Tim Lincecum.
Yep. They're bringing back, like, they're making a 2010s team.
They were down bad.
Chase Headley came back. That was
he
horrible.
The worst hitter that year. I think he had like.
I think he got one hit.
Do you remember Jackie Robinson Day? He had a 0.42 batting average. It speaks for itself. We've come a long way. We've come a long way. Speaking of the Padres,
wait. Let me give my thoughts on the Clevenger situation. White Sox definitely overpaid. I mean, he could be good. You never know. Like, it could. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of money. He was pretty bad, and I really liked Mike Clevenger. I think everybody did. But that deal we made for him was absolutely horrific.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Cal Quantrill,
Josh Naylor,
not a big deal.
Austin Hedges, Joey Cantillo, Owen Miller, and Gabriel Arias.
Like, I think at that time you have to make that deal because like it was a pandemic season.
That was when we were going crazy, also.
Yeah, I mean, we had Lamet. That was our only pitcher, really. And Zach Davies was our number 2, pretty much. You had to make that move, and, like, we were all excited.
Yeah, Davies was. Paddock was horrible that year.
Paddock was bad. But, yeah.
Yeah, you had to make that deal.
That year.
All right.
And now that you think about it, it's like, wait, hold on, man.
Yeah, finish. Sorry.
No, but Clevenger, like, I don't know, like when the deal was made, like we were excited, but like we all kind of knew in the back of our heads, like he's not really like a solidified number 1.
No.
Like, did you guys feel that way?
Oh, no way. I mean, that was probably one of the weaker trade deadlines in recent memory.
Right.
And we still got the number 1 guy out of it, who turned out to be, what was it, our number 4 starter at the end of it this year.
Well, let's let's think of it like this. That deadline, we're all excited, but that was horrible deadline for the Padres and their
Yes.
farm system.
Now, the
I
point I
mean,
was going to bring up was, what do you think's a worse trade? The Mike Clevenger deal or the Austin Nola deal?
my
Ooh.
dog just fell off the couch.
No, they're both really, really bad.
You said
Right
Mike
now,
Clevenger deal or which deal?
the Austin Nola deal. And if you don't remember, that was Austin Nola, Austin Adams, and I think was it Taylor Williams or Dan Altavia? We got in that one. It was Altavia.
I think.
That's right. And then we gave up Taylor Trammell, Ty France, Andres Munoz, and Luis Torrens.
I'd say the Nola deal was worse. And it's funny because those deals were in back-to-back days.
I think the Clevenger deal is worse. I know that Ty France is a stud now at the Mariners. He's all-star this year. Andres Munoz is the closer for the Mariners now. Trammell's still Taylor Trammell. I'm not saying he's a bust, but it's not looked good so far. And then Luis Torrens, I think, just got non-tendered. He's a free agent now. Whereas in the Clevenger deal, we got a guy who ultimately didn't pitch well for the Padres. And we gave up Josh Naylor, who's going absolutely bonkers in Cleveland now. Cal Quantrill, one of the most underrated pitchers in the league. Joey Cantina, who's an underrated prospect. Austin Hedges, who's Austin Hedges. I mean, there's the argument, Austin Hedges versus Austin Nola. I'd take Nola, but still. And then Owen Miller, still underrated prospect, and Gabriel Arias, who the Guardians could use as a trade piece now to go get someone even bigger because they have Ahmed Rosario at short and just Jimenez at second. I think the Clevenger deal was by far the worst one, just in my opinion.
My reasoning for saying that the Nola trade was worse is because at the time you were getting a really good pitcher. Like, you know what I mean? And who knows if if he didn't have Tommy John, like he could have been serviceable, you know? Like he wouldn't have been as bad in the playoffs. I can guarantee you that.
Mm-hmm.
But Austin Nola, I think he was either a rookie or in his second year that year, and he was 26.
No, he was like 28 or something like
28,
that.
28, yeah. 28 had a proven 20 games, you know, like he was not proven at all, you know, and he came here and did nothing. And he plays every single day and does pretty much nothing.
I don't know if you remember, Max, but for some reason, I still go back to that trade deadline day when that news came out that the Padres are trading Taylor Trammell, Ty France, and whatnot. I remember calling you immediately and like, bro, did we just get Kyle Lewis? And then it was like it's Austin Nola and Austin Adams and Daniel Sevilla. It's like,
dude, you know, at the time, like these trades weren't as bad, but you know,
now it's like,
right.
Oh my goodness, it's horrible.
Right.
In back-to-back days, dude.
Yeah.
And then also before that, the day before that, they traded for Mitch Moreland and they traded a former first-round pick.
I forgot about that.
They traded Hudson Potts and Hasan. Was it Hasan Rosario?
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah.
I think they still have him, but I always thought he would be a good hitter, and I liked Potts even though he got DFA'd.
Yep. Good thing out of that deadline though was Trevor Rosenthal.
Yes, Trevor Rosenthal. That was a good trade. But remember, after the Nola and after the Nola and Clevenger trade, they traded Matt Brash for
was it Taylor Williams? Taylor Williams, yeah.
Those were separate trades.
That was rough. That was unbelievably rough. But yeah, it's let's go off 2020. I mean, that was a rough year.
We could go on a whole episode on itself of just how bad the Padres trades have been.
Yes.
Like some of them have been solid, but
there's a whole video on it.
Yeah.
I remember.
I can't even like watch that. Like
Trey Turner for Will Myers. I'm sorry. I love Will, but my goodness. Max Fried.
Dude, we all know we wouldn't have developed these guys anyway.
Oh yeah. Max Fried would have turned out like Clayton Richard. Trey Turner would have been the next Corey Spangenberg.
And you know what, dude? These trades are only going to get worse with time when guys like Cantillo and Arias and Maybe Carmelo figures it out eventually. Once they start figuring
Just wait. Just wait till James Wood and Robert Hassel come up.
Yep.
I was about to
all I
bring
gotta
that
say.
up. I was about to bring that up. The Soto deal. They need to extend Soto, or else that deal
Yeah,
was
if you
a
don't extend
waste.
Soto, yeah,
That deal was a waste. Mackenzie
Either
Gore, C.J.
for
Abrams,
that deal
James
to be a
Wood.
good deal, you either have to one, win a World Series, or two,
Yes.
extend them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to go. So
one of the two or both, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So they need to extend him because James Wood, Robert Hassel, C.J. Abrams, they're all monsters. Mackenzie Gore, I mean, he's injured, but we saw what he did with us in the first half of the season. That dude was unhittable. I wouldn't say unhittable, but he was really good.
He was solid.
We lucked out because Jackson Merrill wasn't hurt. He would be a national as well.
Yep, absolutely. And that guy's going to be good. Oh.
Dude, don't forget about Harlan Susana.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's like 18. There's 101 or whatever it is.
Nationals got a good return.
And they got Luke Voigt, thanks to Eric Hosmer.
Well, he's gone now, but
yeah, he's a free agent, non-tendered. Luke Voigt coming back to San Diego.
I was telling Max when that deal
chest moss action.
I was telling Max when that Juan Soto deal went through that when Hosmer was originally part of the deal, I'm thinking that like the Nationals got at least one extra prospect because of them taking Hosmer on, and then him rejecting it. Like they're not going to be like, okay, you can have your prospect back. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking like maybe we could have kept a Susana, you know, but when you attach a huge contract like Hosmer, you have to add somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he screwed that up, of course.
I was a big Eric Hosmer fan until that day went down. I mean, I know it's like he's trying to look out for himself but whatnot, but like that was a messed up move. Like I don't know if I feel so bad for Luke Voigt there. He was a fan favorite in San Diego with the chest moss and everything, and then Eric Hosmer says, "Nah, you're going to Washington, bro." It's like I feel bad. Now he's a free agent, but
I would rather have had Brandon Drury than Luke Voigt.
Oh, 100%.
Because I don't think we get Drury if we don't give up Voigt.
Yeah, 100%.
It worked out for us.
It did. We went to the NLCS, and it really did work out for us. And we did trade Hosmer to Boston Red Sox. Still kind of confused on what the Red Sox were thinking there.
The Padres weren't going to take the next step if they had Eric Hosmer on the team.
No way.
He just brought everybody down. And I know Josh Bell was absolutely horrible here. And I honestly think that Hosmer probably would have done better than Josh Bell. But, like,
in the clubhouse.
Josh Bell had a way better attitude. Whether he said nothing at all, it would be better than Hosmer because Hosmer was just a negative.
I get that Hosmer was a clubhouse leader, but near the end of his tenure with the Padres, he was a toxic person in the clubhouse. Like, yeah, Josh Bell's a well-liked guy. It worked out for the best for us. So,
yeah, Josh Bell is a good guy. I just think he was really bad.
Absolutely,
I do kind of want him back though.
Bell.
For cheap, I wouldn't mind because he's a switch hitter, you know.
Cheap or like a 1 or 2 year deal with a club option.
See, I wouldn't mind that.
Plus, the shift is going to be gone too.
Yep.
But would you rather have Josh Bell or Trey Mancini?
Josh Bell.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have Mancini on like a 1 or 2 year deal.
I would too.
Because it's going to be cheaper, and I think Mancini's game will translate really well to Petco.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, and the thing that I don't like about Josh Bell is like, yeah, you could bring up the shift and everything, but like he was getting blown away, and like his swings were so bad.
He was unbelievably late.
Like when they would talk about, oh, his dad taught him how to switch it at a young age. It's like, well,
his dad should have
taught him how to hit one way before he hit 2 ways.
Like I notice all the time, his swing would go this way instead of like driving outwards. He'd swing like up on the ball. Like you saw during the NLCS, the game we went to. He ground ball through the first baseman. He's over here like,
I didn't even know he hit it.
Where'd it go? Oh, I'm just gonna go run for it.
He connects, dude. He's got like some of the best power in the league, and he has no idea how to use it.
Yeah, that game was crazy. That game 3 game 2.
That was probably the best game I've been to.
Yeah, Drury and Bell going back to back. That was awesome. And then Austin Nola versus his brother. All right, let's go back to the free agent talk. Speaking of the Padres, they re-signed Nick Martinez in a deal that had to get done. It had to be done for the Padres.
I didn't really expect anything else.
Exactly.
I expected him to be here. So I don't really have like a whole – he's going to be one of our starters. I'm hoping we go 6-man rotation.
I think we talked about this on the Robert Suarez one.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys can just look back on that one if you want our full analysis, but that was a signing that needed to happen. He will be a starter for the Padres next year, and what more can be said?
Padres got priority number 1 and 2 done. Keep those 2. So
absolutely.
I wouldn't say everything else is like a bonus, but like because you do need slug, but like for the pitching side of things, I would say one more arm in the rotation and you're good.
Mm-hmm. Not like a bad arm either. You need like a good one. Like
don't forget, Padres picked up Julio Teheran or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
that's a depth. That's a depth piece though. Yeah. I mean, he's been horrible in the Mexican League the past like couple of years. It's a former All-Star though, with Ruben Niebla.
With Niebla.
Yeah,
and he's only 31.
Yeah,
he's not bad at all. I mean, with Niebla, I could see him turning into like a decent like 5 or 6 guy in the rotation, but I guess we'll see what happens with that.
I'm glad the Padres are making like small moves like that. Like I really liked the move last year when they got like Mazzara to a minor league deal. Like I don't know why teams don't give other guys spring training invites or minor league contracts because I mean it's literally like no risk at all.
Well, some do. I mean, just look at Brandon Drury with the Reds. He was on like less than $1 million on a spring training deal. Then he just absolutely goes off. If Albert Pujols doesn't do what Albert Pujols did this year, Brandon Drury's your NL comeback player of the year.
Albert Pujols got juiced balls.
Probably, yeah.
Just like Cabrera's probably going to get this year.
Juiced bat, too.
Yeah. Yep. And you said Cabrera. Let's talk about that. Miguel Cabrera. He is going to retire at the end of 2023. Now, was it obvious? Yeah, it was pretty obvious. But still a shock to hear because, like, these are guys we grew up on. Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina, Miguel Cabrera, Clayton Kershaw is going to be retiring soon. Like, the 2010s era is coming to an end. You know, you got guys like Andrew McCutchen, Evan Longoria. Like, you're starting to see these guys go away, and it's kind of sad. It's kind of bittersweet. So,
Miguel Cabrera was probably he was like my favorite player when I was like 10 or 11. Because that was like right around the time he hit for the Triple Crown. So I would always try to bat like him and play like him. Because I played some first base too. But I always liked Miguel Cabrera. He never did anything wrong. I always liked the type of hitter he was. Yeah, that guy was an absolute monster.
Yeah. Now, one guy for me that I'm going to be so heartbroken when he retires is Joey Votto. I idolized that guy growing up with the Reds. Like, still one of my favorite players to this day. I can't believe these guys like Votto's injured too. I could very well see this year being his last year, especially because his contract's up. I mean, I think Joey Votto is coming up on the end of his career too. It's sad.
I'm surprised you didn't say you're going to be upset when Clayton Kershaw retires.
I mean, I'll be happy he's on the Dodgers anymore, but I mean that's
okay.
Yeah, that's the best. It's probably the best left-hander since Sandy Koufax. So, all right, let's move away from the sad stuff. Let's go back to the offseason talk. We had some big guys staying with their teams. Jock Peterson accepted the qualifying offer with the Giants. I'm so upset about that one. Not only is he still in the NL West, but I wanted to see him with the Seattle Mariners. I thought that was a match made in heaven for Jock Peterson. But I guess, 1 year, $19 million. Do you think he could have gotten more?
Let's just say I think he's perfect for San Francisco.
All right, let's not go. Let's not go into that.
Dude, all right. I do want to bring this up about Jock Peterson. Do you guys remember when he was almost an Angel?
I do. Oh my goodness, I do remember that. Was it last year?
Who else was in that deal? I know Rengifo was in that deal.
I think it was straight up Jock for Rengifo. Because Rengifo was still like an up and coming guy at the time. Was that 2020 or was that 2021?
I think it was 19. Actually, I don't know.
No, I remember it. I just don't. Let me look it up. Oh my goodness. I think it was straight up Peterson for Rengifo.
How crazy would that have been, dude?
They still would have won like 72 games. I mean, Jock Peterson might have went off, but yeah.
Once I found out the qualifying offer was like 19 million, like it didn't really surprise me. But like, he still could have got like 40 to 50 million dollars probably.
Mm-hmm. So it was before.
He really likes it in San Francisco.
It was before the pandemic, February of 2020. It said Jeff Passan said it or reported it, so I'm looking on his Twitter right now to see if I can find it.
Just call him.
Yeah, bro. I have him in my contacts.
That's your buddy.
Yeah. All right. It was Jock Peterson straight up for Luis Rengifo. Or no. There will be more players involved should it pass medical reviews.
Wait, because that was because of the Gratterall trade, no? That was like all at the same time.
Gratterall was in the Betts trade.
Yeah, I think it was like, was it not around the same time?
Let me see.
You guys remember when the Padres could have got Mookie Betts for Luis Campusano, Cal Quantrill, and Will Myers?
Yep. Let me see. Yeah, I can't find it. Let's move on though. But still,
it is what it is. The Angels always apparently are like this close to getting guys. Like especially, I mean, the Padres do it too, but they said the Angels almost got Aaron Judge last year, which
don't remind me of the Max Scherzer deal. I'm talking about the Padres like that.
Oh yeah.
That's not. Yeah, I don't know why I brought that up.
That was like the top 10 worst day of my life right there.
Absolutely.
Everything went downhill. I got COVID that day.
I still hate Ken Rosenthal to this day because of that.
It's just so. I find it really annoying how like all these writers, I think they just automatically just assume the Padres are in on everybody. Like, oh, Padres are in on Nick Castellanos. Padres are in on Chris Bryant. When they're not.
Okay, but those ones made sense though.
I don't think so.
I think they did. The Padres needed an outfielder last year. Nick Castellanos is a guy that could have fit right in with the Padres lineup. I mean, it's a flashy team. He's a flashy guy. Moved Marina with Machado, Tatis, and whatnot. And with Chris Bryant, he went to USD. Of course, there'd be interest there.
And I don't think they're really in on Bogart. I just think
I don't think so either.
John Heyman is just talking out of his butt.
We're also talking about John Heyman. Like, the dude's kind of dumb. Safe to say it. I mean,
yeah, I don't really like that guy. And I'll probably see him at the winter meetings next week.
Yeah, like I sent it to you guys in our group chat. But like, he announced the Abreu deal, 3 years, $20 million. It was 3 years, $56 million. Like, bro.
I think he meant $20 million each.
I don't know. He's gotten numerous things wrong, and I've heard stories about him blowing up on people because they called him out. It's like, how does a dude have a job still? I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure he's a Mets fan, so that just tells you.
He is a Mets fan. He's a Mets writer.
That tells you enough about him.
Yeah. All right. Let's move back. So we talked about Jock Peterson back to the Giants. Anthony Rizzo is heading back to the New York Yankees. Another deal. I saw it happening, but I was hoping he'd go somewhere else. I like the Yankees, but I would like to see Rizzo try to do something that's not in regards to the 260-foot short porch in right field at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I think I think Rizzo is just one of those guys, and it kind of hurts me to say it because I really like him, but I think he might be one of the most overrated players of our time because he's never played in a ballpark other than San Diego that's been good. And I think I mentioned that on the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
He played in Petco. He had 1 home run in I would say 3/4 of the year. He went to Chicago, became close to. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame conversation probably, even though I don't think he'll get in. And then he just goes straight to New York, which anybody get a home run there.
You know who I was saying was the most overrated player for the longest time until this year when he sucked and kind of proved my point? Javier Baez. He was so overrated. Like,
He's
and he
bad.
goes in Detroit now. He's like horrible. So that was also a deal I didn't understand. Why would you want to go to Detroit? I mean, oh, there goes Jacob. What's going on? Maybe the dog got to the computer.
Probably.
There you are.
I was getting a phone call.
Oh, I see. All right. Other news: Teoscar Hernandez traded to the Seattle Mariners. Well, I don't understand the deal for the Blue Jays. I mean, I get it's his contract year and whatnot, but why would you trade Teoscar Hernandez?
I kind of wanted him.
Oh, I
yeah.
I would have loved him. Yeah.
Last year of his contract, though, he's going to be a free agent next offseason. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think their plan. They really want a left-handed hitting outfielder, and they got bullpen help, like a really good bullpen arm, in that deal. I think they're going to be in on Conforto or Bellinger. Now that I think about it, now that Bellinger is available, we
The
haven't
Blue
talked
Jays?
about that. Yeah.
Probably
I
Nemo
can see that.
too.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that we saw the Mariners are in on Conforto as well, so they
Mhm.
want another outfielder because they're going to lose Haniger.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. And then speaking of the Mariners, they did trade away Kyle Lewis to the Diamondbacks. Kind of an underrated deal.
That's a
in
good
my
deal for
opinion.
the D-backs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the 2020 Rookie of the Year. He's been injured, but you know what he can
He's
do.
on the older side too.
Yeah,
I'd say
but
he's
I
in
mean,
his late 20s.
for a D-backs team that's looking to contend soon, that's not a bad deal at all.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks that they're in our division because they're kind of fun to watch.
Hmm.
I just hope they just aren't fun to watch when we play them.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of Arizona, April 20th, the return of El Nino in Arizona. Are we trying to do that?
I'm down.
I'm so down. I
Let's
want to
do
do that. I mean, I've been to Chase Field once, but not to watch a game. Just I went to the team store. It's a beautiful stadium. It's definitely one of my bucket lists I want to go to.
Yeah, got to update the passport book.
I saw that smile. What are you thinking, Don?
I saw a list that said it was like the 30th worst park.
That
Or 29th because the A's was 30th.
does Comerica Park not exist? Like that place is bad. But I mean, I don't know. I personally like Chase Field. I want to go swim in that pool also, but whatever.
You guys want to talk about fantasy football?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We never talk about football or anything. So
Just know I'm not in a good mood about that, so I'll let you guys take it
tell
away.
everybody your situation right now, Bryce.
Yep.
All right, so let me look at the team. I lost in both leagues this week, and it's not looking good. In the first league, the one that all three of us are in together, I'm currently in 9th place, and top 8 makes the playoffs. I lost by 30 to one of my friends from Fullerton, who was behind me in the standings, and it's because Dalvin Cook, for some reason, can't rush more than 2 yards per carry against the Patriots. So he got me 9 points. It's not horrible, but for Dalvin Cook, you obviously want more. Travis Etienne got hurt after rushing for 3 yards on Sunday. Why? Alvin Kamara. Don't get me started on the Saints. I'm a Saints fan. They're poverty. They are poverty right now. I don't know if it's the coaching. I don't know if it's the quarterback situation. Our offensive line sucks. Our cap space sucks. We're doomed. So
I think the thing with the Saints is there's just no like leader, no veteran. I mean, you have Andy Dalton, who's technically a veteran, but
Kamara is the biggest thing as a leader right now on that team, and he's about to be suspended because of that Vegas incident. So
for throwing hands,
it's not looking good. Plus, they traded their first round pick, and it's going to be a top 5 pick or top 10 pick. They traded it in the Chris Olave deal. Now, I love Chris Olave, San Diego guy. He's been a beast this year for me in fantasy and for the Saints. But that's a first-round pick. That's a top 10 pick that we're going to lose out on just because we traded him. We also got Trevor Penning in that draft. He hasn't played a game yet this year for the Saints. Honestly, you could have just traded the first-round pick we used for Penning to get Olave and then keep this first-round pick, maybe go after a quarterback. I don't know.
Just get ready for Jacoby Brissett to be the starting quarterback for the.
Oh, it's gonna be Baker Mayfield
or Baker, yeah.
I think it's gonna be Baker, which I wouldn't mind. I like Baker Mayfield, but I saw someone on Reddit, on the Saints Reddit, they said we should go get Tyler Huntley from the Ravens and do a RPO system with him and Taysom Hill, and I was like, what are you talking about? It wouldn't work. No.
It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Like, you saw, I don't know if you guys watched when, like, Malik Willis played while Tannehill was out. Dude, he is bad. Like, he could not throw the ball. Like, I think he had, like, 13 yards. I'm not even kidding.
It was not
like
good.
40 carries for Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that was it. Once they were down, they were done.
Yeah. All right, back to fantasy. So I lost. I'm now in 9th place, which I have a good road. Like I have a solid path to the playoffs. It's just this week I face this guy, and he's first in our league at 10-2. So I'm unbelievably stressed out right now with that one.
But what were we talking about, Bryce?
So
giving up the least amount of points in the entire league.
Yes.
So it's the most Mickey Mouse first
the
place.
Luckiest number 1 seed in fantasy football history. The least amount of points allowed in the league.
By less than 2 points twice.
And guess who's got the second most points allowed in the league? This guy. And then 4th, that guy. So I have a long road ahead. I gotta beat Max this week, which I just made a deal for Jamar Chase, which I'm really happy about, but who knows if he plays this weekend. If he does, wonderful. If he doesn't, I don't know what to do.
All I know is A.J. Brown's dropping 40 this week against Tennessee.
Yeah,
he's been kind of mid lately.
I've tried convincing Max to let me win just because he's clinched the number 1 seed and he has nothing else to play for.
You want to know what's better than being 10-2, Bryce?
I swear to God, you say 11-2.
11-2. Want to know what's better than 11-2? 12-2.
You know what's better than that? Just helping a friend out. You've clinched the number 1 seed. Let me into the playoffs.
I don't know, dude.
You gotta let me into the playoffs, dude. It doesn't help in my other league. Oh my goodness. Everyone who's watched this now is gonna just blow up your Venmo.
With requests.
Give me $2 million. All right. Well, that's in one league. In my other league, my bad. Sorry. In my other league, I'm currently in 3rd at 7-5. It's not bad. Should be in 2nd though, but I lost this week to my dad, so I'm currently not hearing the end of it from him. And I lost because Michael Pittman decided to put up 19 points last night, including like 4 catches in the 4th quarter that got him the win. So, and in that league, I also have Alvin Kamara, who dog water this week, 2 fumbles. Don't get me started. Antonio Gibson, who someone traded me. Not great. Gabe Davis, who not him, but someone else traded me, didn't do great this week either. And Deebo Samuel, 7 points. So, yeah, not a good look. How about you guys?
I feel like my team is absolutely stacked. They can never put it together all in the same week.
It checks out, yeah.
We got a 12-man league, and I'll just name the wide receivers. Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins. That's probably the best 3 wide receivers you could have, other than like Justin Jefferson or Cooper Kupp. And I'm still 6-6.
Yeah. I mean, going back to week 3, you would have thought that Jacob and I had no chance. He was 0-3, we were both 0-3. And now we're like struggling to get into the playoffs, which it's a big – our teams back then were horrible. But trades, waiver wire pickups, we've wheeled and dealed our way into being potential playoff guys this year. While Buddy Boy right here just been demolishing the league the whole time. So must be nice to be the luckiest team in the league.
I was 0-3, then I won like 5 or 6 straight. Like 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 7, whatever. And I lost the last 2. One of them being to Bryce.
That was
2 points.
That was unbelievable.
The biggest BS because DeAndre Hopkins he brought me within 2 on Monday Night Football in the middle of the third quarter, and then they took him out because they were getting blown out by the Niners.
I feel so bad about that.
Easily. And then the one that sucked even worse than that was, you guys remember week 2, I was playing Reed, and A.J. Dillon fumbles and gave it to Aaron Rodgers.
I remember that.
1 point. Because the fumble is negative 2 points. I lost by 1 point because A.J. Dillon fumbled the handoff, and they gave it to Rodgers.
I do remember that, yes. Yeah. You're looking at the 2 most unlucky fantasy football guys right here in our league. Well, you got the luckiest right there to the left.
It's really hard to lose when you have McCaffrey and Saquon.
Yeah. And Lamar and Amon-Ra St. Brown and A.J. Brown.
So everyone you just named, I drafted.
Oh, and I played Max this week and lost because Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't score a touchdown since week 2. 2 this week.
Yeah. And then
Schultz doesn't do anything all year. And then when he plays me, he scores 2 tutties.
It's a good plan. It's a really good plan. I don't even know. So, I mean, looking at our matchup this week, it has me projected to beat Max, even with his whole team in, but I don't feel safe at all.
It never goes that way.
Last week too.
Exactly. Because, I mean, I have Etienne, who's injured. I don't know if he's going to play. Jamar Chase, who's injured. Don't know if he's going to play. Alvin Kamara, I don't even know what's going on with him. Dalvin Cook. Like, my team on paper is stacked, but they're all underperforming. So
also,
I also got Patrick Mahomes also, and I don't even know.
With Max's luck, and I was projected to win, but I was not projected to win after Justin Fields was out, of course. So I had to start Jacoby Brissett. Daniel Jones already played on Thursday, so I couldn't start him. And
Brissett, I would
put
have
up a dud. He put up a dud. He scored like 12 points.
Which is weird because they won in overtime against the Bucks.
Yeah, I know, but they handed it off to Nick Chubb the whole time, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Tyreek got hurt, and Jeff Wilson got hurt. So.
Sorry if I keep looking back. The U.S. game is on, and they need to win.
Hogan versus the Iron Sheik.
Yes. So they're up 1-0 at the time of this. Keep thinking they're about to score, but big game today for the U.S. They got to win to get to the knockouts. No, I'm talking about soccer. I'm talking about the World Cup.
I'd rather eat 50 dry Popeye's biscuits with no water than watch a soccer game.
Jeez, that's a little bit too much.
I'd rather go to the DMV with no appointment than watch a soccer game.
Hey, I did that, and it cut to last me about maybe 30 minutes. I just wanted it at the right time. Whew. All right.
All right. Anything else, or we good?
Anything else you got to talk about? I mean, football, baseball. Yeah, we're good.
Charlie
Do we want
guys did. That's all I want to say.
Anybody
Yeah.
you guys think should get in the Hall of Fame? Baseball Hall of Fame?
Baseball Hall of Fame? Let me look at that real quick, actually.
Paul Konerko, please.
Let me see.
The one name I think for sure should be in the Hall of Fame that I'm baffled isn't is Don Mattingly.
Yeah. I think Andrew Jones also.
I wouldn't say Andrew Jones, but Don Mattingly he's so good. I was just watching yesterday. He was pretty much Tony Gwynn with power, 3 or 4 years, and he was good on top of that.
Hey, darn. I'm looking at her fantasy matchup thing. How about Miami defense dropping 20, dude?
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that. Played the Texans.
Yep.
All right. 2023 Hall of Fame ballot. Scott Rowland, I think, should get in.
Nah.
Todd Helton, I think, has a chance. I don't know, though. Billy
Mid.
Wagner.
Mid.
Billy Wagner's not bad. Andrew Jones, I do think, should get in. Gary Sheffield. A-Rod.
A-Rod won't, but he should.
Yeah. Jeff Kent. Manny Ramirez. Omar Vizquel. I mean, all these other guys probably don't make it. New guys on the ballot. Carlos Beltran. I think he should. Does the 2017 sign stealing thing affect his chances?
Yes.
I don't really care about these guys being on steroids because they served their suspension and their punishment, They were so good. I think Manny Ramirez should be in the Hall of Fame. A-Rod, Barry Bonds, Clemens.
Now this comes to Tatis now. Is his Hall of Fame chances shattered because of the suspension?
It might be, dude. It's sad.
I hope not, but
and what people don't understand about Tatis's steroid use, it was to it wasn't even make him good. That's what sucks.
Next year's Hall of Fame ballot looks crazy.
Who's on there next year?
Adrian Beltre, Joe Mauer, Chase Utley, David Wright, Bartolo Colon won't make it. Matt Holliday never touched home plate. Adrian Gonzalez, Jose Bautista, Jose Reyes, V-Mart, Fernando Tatis' son, James Shields. Brandon
James
Phillips.
Shields?
James Shields on the Hall of Fame ballot next year.
What?
Yeah.
I do think Joe
Padres
Mauer
legend.
and, what was the other? What was the first name you said?
Adrian Beltre.
Beltre and Mauer should get in.
Padres legend Chase Headley is on the ballot.
Are you
Dude, Joaquin Benoit's on the ballot this year.
Why are these guys on the ballot?
What the heck? Houston Street's on the ballot this year. Brandon Morrow is on the ballot next year. Oh my goodness. Some of these guys just retired in 2018.
Maybe it's the service time.
About 2025. I'm really going into this now. Oh my goodness.
All right.
All right, yeah, we can do some other time.
Joe Mauer is probably one of the best catchers I've ever seen, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Austin Nola better.
Okay.
True.
Yorvit Torrealba better.
Yeah, he was good.
All right,
John
fellas.
Baker. John Baker's better. Sorry.
Good. Next episode, I say we preview
Winter meetings, what we could see.
We'll try to get it out this weekend.
Yep.
Before all the trades go down in San Diego. I'm gonna go down there. I don't know about you guys, but Yeah, my dad and I are gonna go down there like 1 or 2 days.
Is it at the convention center or like where's that at?
It's gonna be at one of the hotels.
Okay.
Down probably. So
Okay.
yeah, might see some players walking around too because they'll announce the first team.
Oh yeah. I can
Which
try.
if Machado doesn't get first team,
He won't. He won't. You know Arenado's gonna get it.
I think he will. But the fact that he didn't get a Silver Slugger is just.
You know Arenado's gonna get it.
I think we got to have a rant video ready if he doesn't get first team because that means he gets no awards at all for the year he just had.
Yep.
Finished second in MVP, but he's ahead of Arenado.
Can I wait before we end it? I just want to say like, Stan Goldschmidt had like a better overall year.
Yeah.
Like, there has to come a time where like, baseball is just like, the Hank Aaron Award is the best year overall, and the Cy Young is the best year overall for the pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
The MVP has got to reward the most valuable player. It's got to happen, and it's like, if you think of it that way, it's like he had Arenado behind him the whole year.
Yeah.
Manny Machado had hitting behind him the whole year, or a majority of the year. Nomar Mazara. It's unreal, dude. And
Jake
if you take
Cronenworth batting cleanup.
If you take Machado off the team, Padres are 4th place at best.
Yep.
I'd say 3rd, but still, yeah.
4th.
Yeah. So with that logic would mean, which I'm not disagreeing with it, but wouldn't Ohtani win then?
No.
He's in like 3rd or 4th place.
Talking about most valuable player.
That's what I'm saying.
The guy pitches and hits
First place.
at an elite level.
Okay, Bryce, it's so valuable that he's in 3rd or 4th place.
I get that, but
if you take Judge off the Yankees, I don't think they make the playoffs either.
No, I don't know. It's all up for discussion, but I don't know.
I think the whole voting thing. I just want to see if you're gonna have a Hank Aaron Award, like that's a great award. Paul Goldschmidt deserves the Hank Aaron Award, but MVP has got to go to somebody like Machado.
Yeah.
Judge deserved both.
Or how about Harper? The Phillies.
Harper hit like 18 home runs.
He was injured half the year, yeah. So I don't know.
All right, fellas.
We can make another video on that one.
All right. Next episode previewing.
That's gonna end it for us. All right.
The winter meetings.
So next time we'll see you guys on In Play. Bryce Bautista, Max Reyes, Jacob Redondo. Have a great rest of your week, everyone.
Peace.
Peace.